Hi there, welcome to Module 2. We're talking about the orchestra of experiences. Ta-da, how fun. So if today's transformative digital marketers know where to go, they also know how to show up when they get there. The right platforms and the right types of content and engagement and goals for the audience that they're intending to reach in that space. But today's winning brands also know how to deliver this seamless journey of experiences along the way, no matter how big or small they are. And it could just be two stops. Like they find your phone number on Google My Business or Google Maps, and when you pick up the phone, you're friendly, you get them to the finish line, they order their pizza, and they're thrilled because it tastes really good and you got it there on time. Or you could have a bigger brand experience like we're going to look at with, say, WestJet, where there's multiple touch points along the way and plenty of opportunities for fantastic experience makers that continue to grow that customer's loyalty and affinity for you because of that wonderful ride. So this concept that we're all this kind of subscription business is not a new one, but it's profound to me because so many of us don't realize how much one step leads to the next and how they all make a difference. And not even just in our sales and marketing journey or funnel, but with our people, with the various departments along the way that are more connected than ever, but we sometimes still don't see them that way. Even just sales and marketing being isolated, which doesn't work anymore. Or, supply chain down to fulfillment with marketing in the middle. How are we all seeing the same kind of picture and working towards the same goal? Kind of a neat concept for us to think about a little bit differently perhaps than we have. Recognizing what those makers and breakers are along the way is key. Let's take Wendy's, for example. Just because I love Wendy's Twitter feed and she lights up the internet with her, quips and roasts of McDonald's, for example, and it's a very well-known feed and the content there is snarky and fun, doesn't mean that when I wander into a Wendy's tonight to get a burger, I'm going to forgive them or feel like it's no big deal if the restaurant's dirty, the staff are rude, and they forget the patty in my bun. It's a break. It's a different kind of experience and it doesn't add up. And I'm not going to forgive one because the other is great. I'm not going to be super choked about the no patty in my bun, but you get the picture. WestJet, more touch points, more opportunities for, yes, breaks, but also makes. You have a fantastic booking experience. And before that, you just get these brilliant emails and e-newsletters alerting you to only what you want, which is sun destination sales, as opposed to everything from WestJet to do with their credit card and their new mobile app and whatever. Great. They've ticked that box for me. From there, I'm able to book easily and check in brilliantly and utilize my credit card for that free bag and get to the airport and find the friendly staff and the great check-in counter and the entertainment, and all of that happens so well. They've mapped out and built this journey for me and improved it many a time over the years with iteration and optimization and feedback loops, of course, if we're going to get data analysis-y about it. But then I get on the plane and my $13 Wi-Fi WestJet Connect won't work. Or I am on a plane where it doesn't have the internet yet and it's kind of annoying and I'm choked. So we all have these makers or breakers along the way, no problem. How we deal with them is another thing. We can address them, we can preempt them, we can, continuously improve and just overall try to be really human about it, of course. But we're not really talking about operational makers and breakers so much as we are the places where people can find us and get to the finish line. We're not really worried about whether or not my internet works on the airplane so much as if I'm going to be a loyal customer and continuously stay in the marketing and sales funnel of this company and continue coming back for more. The Wi-Fi on the plane, sure, that's like the cherry on top. But what we're saying here is we're really trying to find a way to turn our organization into this seamless, unforgettable orchestra of experiences across the platforms and touch points that we are utilizing in our sales and marketing mix, both human and non-human alike. We talk about this a lot in our Winning Websites course. The chatbots, the live chats, those sort of third-party widgets or integrations on your website that are meant to support your customer, not annoy them. with a pop-up or a chatbot that never feels like you get anywhere and no closer to a human. No, we're utilizing technology and marketing tactics and tools that allow our customer to get their answers faster and to a human faster if that's their goal, and us to them quicker in a more segmented or tailored fashion. If we can pre-answer some of their questions and queries with a chat bot that's got FAQ answers on it, great. But more than anything, we want to use technology and marketing tactics to get them to the finish line as quickly as we can, in whatever way they're hoping. So the result, if we achieve somewhat of this, is constant delight for our audience. They're excited about and continuously interested in our brand or our organization. And then again, not only are they getting their needs met, but we're getting ours met with new customers or repeat customers as well. So a couple case studies here. Countless creative touch points, experience makers maybe in unexpected places, multi-channel campaigns, but we're going to look at them through the eyes of IGTV because it's an underutilized feature within Instagram, and it is kind of just a really neat thing to talk about when we can because of how many opportunities we have here to do the things we're talking about. Pull back the curtains, create transparency, humanity, personality, and do it on a really neat feature of a really powerful platform. So let's look at West Elm. This furniture company has an IGTV channel that's filled with all sorts of kind of really cool repeat series and features. And what they're doing is integrating their products into these educational tutorial videos and interviews and behind the scenes content that adds value for their viewers. It takes them somewhere maybe different than their e-newsletter has, or their paid ads, or their in-store experience. If you were to walk into an Apple store in Times Square, you have an experience there. But if you open your new iPad in its beautiful box, you have an experience there. And then if you were to, see their Super Bowl commercial, you have a whole other type of marketing experience with them. But through and through, it's Apple. They just know that they're reaching us at different places in different ways and utilizing each one of those platforms really well. And I love how West Elm is doing it on IGTV. Netflix, same thing. They are taking the opportunity and the golden real estate they have of, a huge audience on Instagram, but also the behind the scenes content they can create with some of their stars of their TV shows and streaming series, and they can give us more. They can have us kind of constantly engaged and delighted and excited about what's behind the scenes on their very own owned channel, which is IGTV. And it's a really fun thing to see some of the things they do. They're goofy and hilarious. And oftentimes this kind of content gets more views or more hype than traditional media would for them, or paid ads would, or even sometimes their actual shows, which is interesting. But there's a reason that we see celebrities and sports stars now firing up podcasts and IGTV series and goofy episodes of this, that, and the other thing, because they have to stay relevant, top of mind, tip of our tongue. And so too do we as brands, which is kind of the whole point here. Experiences and constant delight. Warby Parker, that online prescription eyewear company that was one of the first disruptors of the optical industry. And they have a campaign called Wearing Warby, and they constantly feature, real humans, celebrities alike. And they have some really awesome behind the scenes interviews with some of their influencers or even designers on their IGTV channel, which are pretty fun. And then they do some really cool different features like misspelled Google searches for Warby Parker that just show their human element. And so if I was to look at these 3 screenshots here of one channel, Instagram, and one feature within that channel, IGTV, I can see 3 different content pillars: educational, insightful, entertaining, which is so cool. They're ticking a lot of boxes here. And if we were to go back into our content courses, you'd see the those things brought to life in other examples as well. So just some ways for us to think about, again, orchestrating these experiences that don't have to be perfect. They don't even have to be super polished. They just have to be present. And hopefully, something that you can see the places where you're showing up well, and then those that you're not quite so present on, that you can start to fill the gaps and, make people aware of you along the way. If you looked at our SEO class, you'd see this in terms of search, Google search, and where where you might show up or not in that top of funnel search, but then where you maybe show up even better or worse at the bottom of funnel search when they're really transactionally minded. And in this customer journey class, we're talking about it on a broader level, but the same rules apply. That seamless orchestra from point A to point B. Next up, we're going to map out your ideal customer journey. Where are people finding you currently, and where do you need them to find you going forward? I'll see you there.